Hello there. We are doing another JP Tech Talk. Now, I know it's been quite a while since we've done one of these. It takes a lot of time and effort, and we're a little behind. So today I'm going to talk about ESS superchargers. The reason for this is not because they asked us to. I see a lot of misinformation being spread about them. We have been on the receiving end of a lot of criticism and slander type claims in the past, and frankly it sucks, especially when it's not true. So I reached out to ESS to ask if they wanted me to do a tech talk on this after I was feeling them out to try and verify some of the things you see online, mostly in regard to where they're manufactured, if they're quality, that type of thing. They have kind of a unique position in the market where they are very affordably priced. I think it makes other companies irritated. They don't do a lot of wholesale. You can buy them from us now, and a number of other dealers across the country. So I got a kit for our S650 tuning R&D car, and I decided when I got it that I was so impressed with the quality, even versus some previous kits we've installed, Gen 3 kits. They just keep stepping it up. So I've got the kit laid out here, and I just wanted to go over a few things about it, and we'll throw in some clips about installation and whatnot as well. So I'm gonna get started here. I didn't rehearse this or anything like that, so bear with me. So I'm gonna start with the head unit. This is a G3, not a G3R. It does have an X-trim impeller. Try and intertwine some close-up footage into the video for you as well. It's got US patents. It has, it's very light. This one is a G3 standard X-trim. So it has the billet impeller, got a really slick ARP nut on there. I imagine that probably isn't cheap. Now let's talk about where they're made. So the castings are all A380, pretty much industry standard for automotive casting things. The castings that they do are done in John Deere's foundry. They're pretty good at it. They know how to handle ruggedized, heavy use equipment. So they have nice castings. Now the gears, the impellers, the axles are all made in the US. ESS actually has their own in-house production facility for, or machine shop rather, to build things like that. Gears, axles, impellers, other billet components, which I'll talk about in a second, made right in their in-house machine shop. So that's the G3 head unit. It's very light as well. I don't think personally I've ever seen a failure of a head unit, maybe like an oil seal that needs to be replaced after heavy use. They have the G3R, which is a bigger unit. You can even get that in a billet case instead of cast, which is pretty cool. So that's the head unit. Next I'm going to talk about the main bracket system, which there is not an easier to bolt on belt drive system on the market. This one here is their standard cast A380. It has really nice pulleys on it, 10 rib pulleys. If you're doing a 6 rib setup, you simply only use 6 of the ribs. That way it's future proofed. So this is their standard cast unit, which by the way is an absolutely beautiful casting. Pulleys are all the same. Pardon me if I have to check my notes. I did a lot of research for this. So the bearings are either NSK, which are Japanese, or SKF, which are European. OE grade bearings everywhere. Nothing wrong with any of the bearings. All the hardware is US made. I think it's made by ARP for them. That could be wrong, but it's US made, high grade hardware. Not cheaping out on the hardware. That's very important. Now let's look at this one. Now, this is gorgeous. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a nut for metal art. This is their billet unit. This is made in-house in their machine shop that I referred to in Arizona. This is gorgeous. It's a small upcharge, just like the billet case on the blower. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Extremely nice machine work, and it's based on the same model as the cast one, so it's the same. It's a little bit stronger, like anything that's billet versus cast. And I'm going to show you guys this on the car once it's put on, to show how easy it is to put on, but also to show how nice and tight and tucked up to the engine it is. It's not way out hanging off the front of the crankshaft. Extremely easy to install. This is the other bracket, the other part of the mounting system. Again, cast versus billet. It's gorgeous parts. Like, I have no idea how anybody could say anything bad about it. Spacers, specific to the application, absolutely gorgeous. Machining, finishing as well. Hardware, everything is very nicely made. Now, speaking of cast stuff, low profile thermostat housing, another cast piece. It's gorgeous. Like, it's strong. It's a nice, smooth, clean casting. I really don't know what else to say about that other than I mean, we deal with a lot of cast parts on the OEM level, here to the aftermarket, to imported stuff, American stuff, whatever. Casting is, it has to be done right. It has to be done to be reliable and strong. And all of their cast stuff is gorgeous. For cast stuff, obviously, it's not as gorgeous as billet. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the other parts, less important than the head unit and the bracket. So let's talk about hoses. So hoses, probably not made here. Nobody's hoses are made here. It's just not really something that American manufacturing is on top of. Everything is custom. They are made for them very specifically, as you can tell by the shape, the sizing, the flaring. That's why it fits so good. It's not just a mashed up kit of shelf parts that everybody has trying to make it work. All right, so here the kit is fully together. So one thing that I sort of touched on in some other sections was how well designed the kit is in relation to like the custom hoses and the way that everything is routed. So I was talking to AJ a little bit about this. They 3D scanned the entire car to make these hoses and redesign everything specific for it. So airflow is pretty much optimized to be perfect. So the new compressor housing goes right out in the right spot, has a custom molded hose that goes to the intercooler, does not get mashed, crimped, or squished at all. It is precisely molded for this car and into the intercooler. And then same thing on the other side. It's this crazy big hose, doesn't touch a thing as it passes through. Zero squishing, zero cramming, zero fitment issues. It's just like perfect, perfect optimized airflow from the blower through the intercooler as straight as possible with minimal restriction. Speaking of belts and filters, you've got Gates belts, you've got S&B or K&N filters. Absolutely beautiful molded unit here. If you didn't want it to be black, it'd be super easy to refinish and anything you wanted it to be. Got your standard, wiring stuff that's in every kit, MAF extension. One thing that I like about them specifically is how easy it is to install. So even something like blow-off valve vacuum routing, right? Plug and play connection to a factory hose, run it down to the blow-off valve, stick it on. No hacking up your vacuum system, hacking up your wiring. So in relation to where stuff's made, which is a big argument point if you look online. Like I said, all their billet stuff is made in their in-house machine shop in Arizona. ESS is an American company, pays taxes to our government. AJ, the owner, did come here from Norway. He's been here a long time. All the employees are American citizens. Everybody's paying taxes. I already told you how the castings are made in John Deere's foundry, or the one that John Deere uses. I think it's actually owned by a third party. The intercoolers, which we'll take a little field trip over and look at the intercooler. All right, so this is the S650 ESS intercooler. Now this is designed in-house. Since we're talking about where everything is made, these are not made in-house. Pretty much all intercoolers are imported, but they are designed to spec. This is their custom design. It's brand new for the S650 kit. I would imagine it's going to trickle down to the Gen 3 kits. This is the XL. This will be standard in the G3R kit. The slightly smaller one that's with the G3 kit is better than the old G3 one, so it's an improvement across the board. These brackets are made in their in-house machine shop in Arizona. So this is the intercooler, the XL, big capacity. One of the favorite things that I like about this kit is that the blow-off valve is mounted here. It makes it easy to service, easy to access. It's not buried over here somewhere in the bumper cover. Sounds great. Takes a standard tile blow-off valve. The standard one that they include in the kit is a Summit Racing brand. Tile is an upgrade that's optional, made in the USA, of course, in their own foundry. The brackets, I keep coming back to the brackets. They are gorgeous. And of course, you still have the US-made high-grade hardware that threads right directly into the intercooler. Just a beautiful unit. Gears, axles, seals, impeller. It's all American-made. Bearings are NSK or SKF, Japanese, European. Belts, gates, like I said, it's all made here. Hardware, we talked about the hardware. Here's another quick little visual now that the main bracket is on. Again, this is the billet unit. The cast one is the same other than it's cast. So this is the main drive system. Low profile thermostat again. Big pulleys. Super simple mounting system. 3 timing cover bolts, some trimming, and now we are good to put the blower on. So the kit is mostly installed now. We just need to do the modifications for the grille shutters, or rather for the adaptive cruise module, which will use the shutter housing. You can see the air filter sticking down there. Intercooler is all wrapped up. Hoses are on. Everything fits awesome. Billet bracket, gorgeous. Low profile thermostat housing. Blower comes clocked. We've got a plug on one connection. Everything's all trimmed up to fit. Tucked up nice and close to the crank. Uses the original belt drive. All we need to do is plug our blow-off valve feed fitting into the intake right there, and we're going to do the spark plugs and injectors, which I'm not going to really cover in the video because that's kind of a different thing. So nice and simple, minimal modification required, fits awesome, and we will be on the dyno soon. All right, so just a couple of quick notes. Originally this wasn't going to be an install video, but I decided, since I was taking footage of most of it anyway, that I would just talk about a few things. Our complete kit that's on the website will come with a map sensor. You must do a map sensor when you do boost on an S650. This is the stock map sensor. The reason that you have to do this is because this can only see essentially atmospheric pressure. So you add boost and it literally can't read how much boost is present. So fueling's not going to be right. It's going to do probably some torque calculation errors. It just literally cannot read boost. So what you do is you swap it for an EcoBoost unit or a 2020 GT500 unit, which is a 3-bar map sensor, and it's super easy to swap once you get to it. It goes right on the back of the intake right here. The easiest way to do that is to pull the intake off. Honestly, that's the hardest part of the whole install, because there's some retainer pins back here that are kind of a pain. Be careful if you do it. It's a good time to lock out your IMRC if you're going to do big power. I'm going to leave it intact on our street car. You have to do the rails anyway to do your injectors, so it's really just an extra 6 bolts and some connections. So you get that map sensor swapped and then put it all back together. Being a competition kit, tuner kit, whatever you want to call it, they do not include tuning or fueling. They could if they wanted to, but they choose to work with tuners like us. Daryl at Wangert, Shoemaker, Lon. There's a number of people that love this kit, love how they tune, whether it's on S650 or on Gen 3. I think they're even working on a Gen 1 kit. So we've actually put together a complete package that you can get if you want all that from one purchase point, done deal. Pardon me. So just some of the stuff we're including in that kit. One thing you'll need to run 93 or 91 octane is a fuel pump booster. You could also use a DW 400 drop-in pump if you wanted to. It's easier to run a plug-and-play fuel pump booster. This is the new DW programmable unit. The one we will include will be like this or similar. It might be a like a VMP plug-and-play. Whatever it is, it's plug-and-play, easy to install. We will also include GT500 injectors. They're an OE grade injector used by pretty much everybody. Comes factory on the GT500 and probably the new Dark Horse. Same deal with the spark plugs. One step colder. OEM GT500 spark plugs. So we're going to include those in our kits. We're also going to include tuning. We like the Avid for tuning the S650. Easiest, end user friendly device. I believe most people that support tuning on these also use Avid as well. They include Royal Purple gear oil as well as an extractor. Now the blower oil capacity is 3 ounces. This is a 3-ounce syringe. There's a plug on the blower with a dipstick built in. This can be used for oil changes, so hold on to this. You're going to want to follow the directions that come with the blower, of course, but this makes it super easy to change the oil. You just stick it in there, extract everything, put fresh in. They give you enough here for like a dozen oil changes, which is nice. Let's talk about oil pump gears. Do you need them? Maybe. It's definitely a good idea. If you're mechanically competent and you can work on it yourself and you have the time, you should definitely put them in. A lot of people, especially on the new platform, and it changes with every platform. The S550 came out and they were like, oh, you don't need it anymore. The Gen 3 came out, oh, you don't need it anymore. They're the same gears. The pump housing has changed over the years a little bit. The gears have been the same since the Coyote came out, with the exception of the GT500 being a little bit thicker and the F150 being a little bit thinner. They will fail if treated wrong. They might fail if they're treated right. We've seen bone stock Mustangs with failed oil pump gears, and it takes out the motor if they fail in most cases. These are Boundaries, dual rotor, top of the line, super fancy. There's like multiple machining steps here. You don't necessarily need these ones. Their standard ones are perfectly fine. They're the only ones that we suggest and install here in the shop. Manual car is going to be, I would say, more needed if I had to gauge it, just because of the behavior of shifting, redlining, bouncing off the limiter. 10R cars, unless the tuner has it set up kind of weird, it's going to be a lot safer, a lot less likely to shatter. That being said, if you're racing, if you're doing any type of trans brake, limiter, bouncing, whatever, it's a good idea to do them. They're cheap insurance. They'll save your motor. So that's the Boundary dual rotor that we have here. Another good idea is a catch can. A lot of people on the ESS crowd specifically like the breather tank. That's whether or not that's needed is questionable. Usually what UPR will say, and what we suggest, is if it's under 1,000 horsepower or so, keep a catch can. This is the catch can for the S650 ESS setup, which we'll show you when it's in the car as well. A sealed system holds vacuum, keeps the vacuum on the rings, keeps the vacuum on the motor, which is really how the Coyote is intended to run. There's no reason to vent it unless you're making enough power to overwhelm the system, which you get a high flow PVC and nice catch can system. PVC, PCV, work with both all the time. It's easy to get it backwards. This is what we suggest for most street cars, especially if you're running 91, 93. There's no reason to have a breather tank. It stinks, it makes a mess. You don't need that. Run a catch can. As you probably have seen online, this kit is already proving to be competent. We had Brevin's car clicked off an 890 on a bass tune. Take a look at that if you want. Listen to those shifts.
30, 60.
But everything's wrapped back up. You can see, looks great. Looks pretty much factory. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can reach out to me on email on here. I'll try and respond to comments, or on Facebook Messenger, that is preferred. We are installing these here in the shop too, if anybody local needs one, or we can do our package for you online. So yeah, there it is. I'm going to start it, and I know everybody wants to hear the blow-off valve. So, and just to note, these are the louder gears, because why not? All right, so that's that. I did have the mic on me, so the audio was from the driver's seat with the door open. Super nice kit, super easy install. Drives like stock until it doesn't. Let us know if you have any thoughts, feedback, concerns. So just a quick review. We're gonna wrap it up. Don't want you to get bored. ESS, super easy, quick install. Gorgeous parts, mostly made in-house, especially if you opt for the billet components. Yeah, we like them, and you should too.